So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is the Broadcom work group in Virtual Room 5, and this is session 5AF, AIOps, Automation at its Finest and Exploration of Alerting. My name is Phil Howard-Knight, and I will be chairing this session this morning. Please note that the session is being recorded and will be available via Vimeo after the conference. All registered attendees will receive an email with a link after the conference is over. If you have any questions for the presenter, please can you submit them via the Zoom chat window using message to everyone, and I will run through them all with the presenter at the end of the session. If you have any specific points or questions about the session or logistics, then please feel free to address them directly to me via the host only option. Pause a moment while I admit somebody else from the waiting room.
Sure.
Please do provide feedback at the end of the session about the session. This helps us enormously with our conference planning. Ideally, do this straight after the end of the session. It can be accessed from the links on the abstract page or your BYOA agenda, or by scanning the QR code on the last page of the presentation. Please note that the best answer for question 5 is 1 rather than, for question 1 is 5 rather than 9. Let's get that right. It's 9 for all the other questions, but 5 for question 1. Note also that a copy of the presentation is available for download via the conference website. So now, if I admit one more person, hold on. I'd like to introduce our speaker, Mohammed Joni, the product manager for Ops MVS and the automation solutions provided by Broadcom. Over to you, Joni.
Thank you, Phil. And hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me in this session. I'll try to make it crisp and light. I have a lot of slides. So please, one of the questions that you can post in the chat that, hey, slow down if I'll be speaking fast. I heard that I do that every now and then. So I am Johnny, your product manager for Ops MVS and the automation products actually provided by Broadcom. I spend good quality time working with the automation solutions. So actually, I'm your guy if you want any help in this sector in your shops. Let's start with this presentation. It's about how it's cross products kind of communication that communicate with Ops MVS and how we can utilize the new alert center of Ops MVS and why we did this in the first place. Apologies for any noise that you are hearing. We are all working from home, I believe. So that's a usual disclaimer. I will not stop here. And what to expect in this presentation. So I'll share with you some kind of the observation we had in
Johnny,
yes.
Sorry to interrupt. My screen hasn't moved on. I'm still seeing the first slide. Oh, there we go. Yep, that's better now. Don't know what happened, but it suddenly refreshed.
Please,
sorry about that.
If that will happen again, let me know. Thank you, Phil. All right, so the presentation plan, what to expect here. We went and did multiple customer validation. We interviewed our customers. And of course, since I was interviewing there, my questions were around the automation processes that they have in their shops and what are their main challenges, what are the problems that they face on daily life. So in this presentation, I will not like keep the demo till the end. I will abstract the issue and then project this on Ops MVS, how Ops MVS can help you resolving this issue, and then show you a demo. It will be actually not a live demo. It will just be multiple of slides that have a logic of the process of how you can do this using Ops MVS. By the end, we will go to the Q&A, of course. So to give you some observation of the current processes. So as we met the users of the automation products for mainframe, who they are, actually they are divided or separated between the automation team itself, which is the system admins, the system developers, the one who's writing the automation in your shop, plus everything that this automation generates. Actually, it has people who, in my opinion, belong to the automation world because they are using these tools. So you have the monitoring folks who will be in some places actually just monitoring big screens, watching if everything is going well and witnessing what issues might happen in these rolling screens. And then you have the, I like to call it the army of operation staff, the ones who will receive all the issues that will surface to them. And these people also will utilize the automation tools to do so. But the thing is, these people don't live in separated worlds. As we interviewed them, in everywhere, it does not matter what is your industry, these people will speak together. And of course, there are the super admins who might be actually any role. So I just call it super admin. And it's these people who wants to jump between these different tools and being able to navigate and know what's going on in each single place. And the communication is essential. You need to speak together. You need to resolve issues together, especially the critical ones. All right, so if we'll go and say, what are the main challenges or wrong behavior that I witnessed here and there? First, it's tons of alerts. I think everyone can relate with me here. You generate at least thousands of alerts per day. And this number goes bigger. The more, let me say, LPARs you have, the more alerts you are generating. The more tools you have, the more alerts you are generating. It's data eventually. And of course, if you are speaking about a volume of thousands of alerts, rationally, your operations staff are not dealing with all of these alerts. They are just, they will learn how to look at the most important ones. Another issue I found, it's the one-way automation. It's when I utilize the automation to tell me what are the issues that's happening. So this is one way. I'll take you through the one-way automation in more details in the upcoming slides. Plus, it's unique processes. This is issue for us because we cannot unify your processes. How shop A do their alerting process from the event till the escalation to incident and open ticket with it, almost there are no two shops do it in the same way. And this creates another challenge, how we can make our tools as much genuine as possible for you to be able to utilize them to resolve this issue, no matter what's your process. But to speak a little bit in details about the one-way automation. I call the one-way automation that it's traffic light that's always red. So you just say when there are issues, and whatever will happen in your systems, in your logs, you'll use the automation to catch this error and raise an alert for it. So this is one-way automation. On the other hand, if you use the two-way automation or end-to-end automation, or the automation as it meant to be, you should, at the automation part, your automation engine should be able to remediate for you the issues that it's receiving and identifying as much as possible, and leaves the alerts that are non-fixable to the operations staff to deal with. This will reduce significantly the amount of alerts that you are generating, and will actually, it makes just sense that I use my automation tools to remediate the actions, and then I inform my operations staff about the stuff that will need either a human interaction or even cross products effort. And here where you go to war rooms, here where you open tickets and you notify people to just resolve these issues. This model, we call it the management by exception. So you only manage what your engine did not help you resolving by itself. Okay, if we'll speak about this in Ops MVS world, I wanted to use an example. So for that, I will use the SysView, which is performance and performance monitoring and management solution for the ZOS system environment. Basically, SysView will start jobs for you and will monitor this CPU consumption, and based on it will tell you that there is an issue if a given system start to consume a lot of CPU. The Ops MVS will be the automation tool that will start dealing with SysView actions and alerts. The MTCA, it's the Ops MVS web application that has the alert manager. MTCA has a lot of components. One of them is the alert manager, and it will be the place where the alert will rest there. You can see that I have green arrows going to the automation or to Ops MVS, and they go back here. That means they got remediated in Ops MVS, but still you can see that there are some green lines here at the alert manager. And why so? Because actually we understood that in a lot of places, even if my automation engine is resolving issues for me, I still want to know about them. I don't want them as critical alerts. I don't want to make my operation staff busy with them. I know that they are getting remediated, but I still want them there. This goes for different reasons: archiving, analysis, what's happening more often in my system, and why it's keep happening. So for that, you can utilize your alert panel with, let's say, informative alerts that will be green status, and they are not risk, but you'll know that they got remediated, but still they happened. Okay. Right now, we'll go through some details. I'll show you some code, but again, as I mentioned, just to prove the concept, all the code you'll see is accurate code, but the main important thing is the concept and the logic of how you can remediate things. So we say it's sysview, right? Sysview will basically be the one that will trigger the action. So a CPU consumed a lot of or the CPU usage exceeded a given threshold. And right now, this is an issue. So this actually will be the Ops MVS rule that will generate the alert for you in case the monitored job will exceed the CPU usage. So how you can trigger this rule? So this is Ops MVS rule. It waits someone to trigger it for it to execute the kind of trying to remediate, and if it will not help to generate the alert. Here you can find address AP, which is a component of Ops MVS called automation point, and this will create for you the alert with all of its details. It goes from the system to the resource to the actual description and the message of this issue. How you can catch the issue though? We have the ops log, and the ops log is monitored by Ops MVS, and the performance tools will log naturally their events and their messages into this ops log. So if you'll take a look at the very first line here, you'll see the bad job too. And of course, we simulated this. So we created the bad job and we called it a bad job. And this one will exceed the CPU usage. When this will happen, that rule will be triggered automatically to raise the alert. So if you'll go to the mainframe Team Center automation, again, the website where you'll see stuff, this is MTCA. It has the rule manager, the system state manager, and these are for different presentation. But we are speaking about the alert manager. So if we go to the alert manager, you'll be able to see that the bad job is here as critical alert. What that means actually, that means that I had an issue and it went to Ops MVS, and then Ops MVS addressed this as an alert. Does it stop here? No, because we have also the ability to automate even the alerts that will reach my panel. So if they will miss the first filter of automation, they will be even catched in the alert manager itself. So what will catch this alert? Here I'm showing you one of the rules that the alert manager does provide, and let's focus on this area. It's just saying if this message ID from this session happened, execute this rex. So you'll be able to execute a rex as a response. So what's this in other words? It's proactive responding. You got the alert and then you triggered automation to remediate it. The Rex will just simply address the ops MVS and ask it to actually reset the WLM class for this job. So if we will move forward, we'll reach this place where actually the job itself, this is the remediation. Basically, we are saying if the action is to reset the WLM class, you can always have nested rules to react to this, so it doesn't need to be one-to-one match. But we got a bad job issue. We need to reset its WLM, and here we catch it, and here we remediate the issue. So when that happens, you'll be able even automatically to close the alert and add a note there saying something like alert automatically closed. And of course, your automation rule will write this for you. You can utilize it to do something like this. Be aware that right now we are in the close alerts tab. So you'll have something like the alert automatically closed and a command sent to reset the WLM service to a low priority. This note and this information will stay there with the close alerts. So you never lose this. Whenever you'll have a similar alert that you have no automation remediating it for you, you can either learn from here how to fix it manually, or how you can enhance your current automation to also cover this issue. But this actually was my first use case I witnessed in a lot of shops. They just generate tons of alerts when the CPU will exceed, and actually in a lot of cases you can automatically fix this without even having it in the alert manager itself. But I just wanted to do this as proof of concept. This is the use case number one, which is performance automation. Right now, I'll go to the second use case that we witnessed. It's the service orchestration. So for planned and unplanned events. I always say, if you know your node, then automate it. So as service orchestration, if you exactly know what you want to be up and what you want to be down and what jobs you want to execute in given days, in given hours, then you can automate the entire process, right? And have it all happening to you. And we have tools to do that for you. If we'll project this in Ops MVS, our workload automation tool is ESP. Again, it communicates with Ops MVS using the GCL. Ops replies to ESP using the Ops Rex, which is the Rex as you know it, but we call it Ops Rex because we own this Rex, and we added more functions to utilize your work that we own. So for that, it's the Ops Rex. And of course, the MTCA. Keep in mind the coloring convention. So I'm keeping everything green. That means ESP is scheduling some work. It's communicating with Ops MVS to do some maybe system manipulation. And you might want to know that, hey, my system went off, or I'm restarting a given resource. So maybe you want an informative alert at the ending place, the alert manager. However, this is like the ideal world actually. What you'll expect from your Ops MVS is stop, start, move resources around the place based on how you scheduled your workload automation. This is the happy world. Everything is going perfectly normal. But what will happen if during your automated node, an outstanding event will happen, unexpected event will happen? When this happens, we all get happy actually. And then I'll say, if you don't know your node, then try to automate it, because it's impossible to always have an automation in place to whatever unexpected situation will occur that you'll be able to remediate it. For that, we have human beings dealing with these systems and monitoring them. But actually, in a lot of cases, if something will happen during the workload or your service, the orchestrated services, if something outstanding will happen out of your scope, you can still utilize your automation to remediate it. So here you will be able to see that we got a red line, and ESP will suffer from something. A given application will stop working perfectly, and then it will ask Ops MVS, hey, can you help me automatically remediate this? If yes, perfect. Otherwise, Ops will escalate this as alert regarding the ESP. Keep in mind what that means before I go in details to the demo. That means you consolidated all your alerts in one place for your operation staff. Whatever tool is communicating with Ops MVS will be able to consolidate the alerts here. So your operation staff will be focused on given tools and given places without jumping between millions of tools. And actually this why it comes handy, and why it solved the current problem that, oh my gosh, I have maybe 6 or 7 panels to see the alerts and keep monitoring the alerts around my systems and applications. Okay, so right now, Ops tried to start things, to try to do anything, but it did not work. If this will not work, then you need to start ringing the bells, notifying people, make phone calls, include the incident management, the service desk management folks, because some issues will cost us millions, right? So when things will not work and your automation will not be able to help it, you need to raise the awareness for all the stakeholders that, hey, this happened. And of course, all of this is utilized using the MTCA Alert Manager. To go in more details, or actually it's the logical step of events. If you're a user of these tools, it will be this kind of a scenario happening to you. So this will be the ESP workload automation. We are interested in the applications, so we will go. And here you'll see the list of all the applications that you have running. We are not interested in the ones that are completed. We are interested in the ones that are actually in troubles or waiting. So what you'll be able actually to see here, that we are scrolling down and you have a lot of processing applications, but then you'll be able to find that you have a job that is waiting, and it's causing that this application that is processing, that has been processing for a long time. And the reason is that this job is waiting. So what will happen right now, the ESP will try using the GCL to communicate with Ops MVS. How that will happen, it will be using such script. You'll say that something happened, and I want to execute to turn down a given parameter of this kicks region. This will be sent to Ops MVS. Ops will receive this, and eventually in this specific scenario, it will be SQL table changes. And I mentioned you can have a nested kind of rule to remediate this. So whether you want to turn a given region down or having it up or cycle it, you can have it as nested rule. And based on the event that will happen, you just change the parameters, take it down, take it up. And in our case, you need to take it down. So we will do this, and keep in mind that here we will raise an alert about it, that we took the region down. You will go to the alert manager, and you'll get you'll get the alert at the top with the ability to create a ticket, because this is an outstanding issue. The automation took for me region down, but right now I need people to go and figure out what happened and to fix the issue. This is not only my operation staff. I want also to have a ServiceNow ticket, a CA service desk ticket, to include the incident management folks, and then forward this to the specific SMEs that will deal with it. We saw this a lot. Eventually, the outstanding issues goes back to their SMEs when it needs some kind of changes in the automation itself, or in the jobs definition itself, or in the system infrastructure. So these incidents and these outstanding alerts will actually need the experts to fix them. What we are trying to do here, what you can fix without including these SMEs, you should try to do it at the level of the engine part, the automation part, without reflecting this into the surface. The ticket, of course, I put ServiceNow. I think you can tell why I'm using this platform as a use case, but you'll be able to reflect your exact alert that got generated from ESP through utilizing the automation to have actually ticket that is associated with this issue. And if you close the ticket, the alert will close with it, and vice versa, of course. That actually the scenario of service orchestration. So what we wanted to say there, that if I'm orchestrating my services and my applications and something happens that is abnormal, I have everything in place, but something happened that is not expected, I can also have automation in place to keep my life normal and to remediate the given issue with the ability to raise awareness and to include SMEs in case the issue will be outstanding for me and it will need permanent fix for the future. This was my second use case, and the third, I will not say use case. This is common between everyone, and I believe you will agree with me. Decentralization. I want, if I'm speaking about an alerting tool that is consolidating for me all the alerts from all my systems and all my tools and products. Of course, I want to be scalable, securable, and high available. So all of that is actually a must that you have to meet when you are speaking about automation event management. So your operator's daily life is, they have, I really don't know, but it depends on the shops. Maybe they have more than 10 applications and 10 places to look at just to monitor what's happening, with thousands of stuff happening here and there. Of course, the other need is the separation of the geolocation places. That might be, you have a separated operation staff around the globe, or you have separated customers around the globe and you need your operation staff to monitor all of them and to focus on specific parts. So you need to be able to isolate what these operators are seeing and focusing on. Because if you have this kind of separation, you'll end up with no one fixing nothing. So you need to focus the efforts. You need to limit the amount of monitors to look at and the amount of geolocations or customer bases that your operations staff are dealing with. Of course, all of that with the disaster recovery touch. Nothing can go down. If one data center goes down, the other should go up. And if one server goes down, a secondary server should take up. So how we did this, when we are speaking about Ops MVS, I will not spend a lot of time here. My colleague yesterday, I think he took you through more details regarding this. But in a nutshell, we are saying for each LPAR, you need Ops MVS. And Ops MVS can communicate with Automation Point and to have the alert manager here. That means whatever tools are using Ops MVS to automate stuff, they can also use Ops MVS to alert and consolidate the alerts in one place. This could be one geographical location. This could be one customer. To scale this horizontally, we went with this approach. I can have as much opses and with them automation point alert managers across my LPARs, across my data centers. But what I'll do for you is I will consolidate all of this alert managers or the automation point. It's the platform or the tool that the alert manager runs on, and have something like a global alert manager. This one will consolidate for you all the alerts from all these places. And keep in mind, at the beginning of my presentation, I said there are super admins, and super admins want to know what's happening with all of their customers, with all of their geolocations, and they want to have this in one glance and one view. So actually, this came from customer feedback that we need this. We need to have a local alert manager, and maybe here our local operation will be focused on looking only on this, but we need also a global place where my system admins, where my super admins would be able to also monitor the bigger picture and escalate and trace things that are outstanding. I actually have a video here to show to you regarding the horizontal scaling and the high availability. It's embedded in the slide, short video, just 2 minutes, and I'll be commenting on it as it goes forward. So once again, the Alert Manager as MTCA, it's all web applications. The modernization is in mind there. You can do a lot when you are using the web applications. So what you are seeing right now, we have 3 servers. Actually, we are connecting to the second one. We are only connected to one. If you'll keep an eye on the left corner here, we have 9 alerts. We connected to the new server, and instantly the number of alerts increased. That means we got more alerts, and we will list for you from what server these alerts are coming. So we connect to another one, and then naturally the number of alerts will increase. That is the horizontal scaling that we approach, that you can connect to as much servers as you want and disconnect from them. If you have an access, you can know what's happening there. If you don't have an access, you cannot connect to the server. The other thing that I want to show you in this video, that right now we are shutting down the server that's running this alert manager. So we lost the connection to the primary. You'll see that immediately the secondary connected, because we have a secondary server set up just in case this will happen. And you'll have no loss of data. Everything will happen naturally. And you'll know that the server just took over. If I will go just a little bit back, and pause there, you'll see the word HA here, and that means this server, actually this was the one that got disconnected. You can see that it's still connected because it's high available. It has the backup server, so whenever this went down, immediately the backup server took over, and your alerts are not missing. Actually, you'll feel nothing till the primary will come back, and it will automatically again take over. All what you'll see is notifications happening here, informing you that this happened. Of course, everything is logged. If you want to know more why I lost my primary server in the first place. Okay. So actually, that's what I wanted to share with you in general about our alert manager, about how you can utilize OpsMVS to do it. The last thing I want to mention, that we added the ability to have custom columns in this alert manager. So you can have something called region, which is not by default in the infrastructure of our alerts. It's just something I created actually to tell you that I can have a region and have put different kind of geolocations there. I saw some customers utilize this to put URL and or documentation, and then put here a URL that is associated with the given alert, that actually the operator, when they will receive this alert and they will not be able to know what they will do, they will click here and they will go and learn more what happened. That is in very, I told you I'll try to be crisp. I will not take the entire hour. So that was the presentation that I wanted to deliver for you. It's kind of educational presentation. Please, if you have any questions right now, feel free to ask them on the chat and reach out. And if you want to hear more about this, if you want to dig deeper, I'm there for you. I can absolutely follow up with you. And with that, I'll say thank you very much.
Thank you, Johnny. Does anyone have any questions? Please do raise them on the chat window now. I shall give you a couple of minutes to see whether that happens. Whilst I'm doing that, I would like to remind you that we'd be grateful if you could fill in the session feedback. This was session 5AF. Thank you all for attending, and a short round of applause. Thank you very much, Johnny, for your excellent presentation. Unfortunately, nobody else can clap because they've all got their microphones muted, but I can do it for them. We don't seem to have any questions coming in yet. I will give it another minute or so, as we've got plenty of time, just in case anybody thinks of anything. And then I will end the session. Okay, well, Johnny, it looks like you've managed to answer everybody's question as you went along. So thanks again, and thank you everyone once again for attending. And I will now end the session for everyone. Okay, goodbye. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Bye-bye.